Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Moxie Pod. I'm Sonia and this is Sarah. Together we have a cerebral palsy podcast where we talk about everything CP, the challenges, the good, the funny, and the achievements. Let's start building a better mindset together.
Thank you, Sonia. So I want to get into the intro, but did you guys see Tina Frimmel on Jimmy Kimmel? Oh
Yeah.
my god. Can we just give her some props? Because
Right.
how that is so, like, uh, I can't even describe what she must have been feeling in that moment, and to be so nervous and to keep her composure. Like, I give her all the props. I am so proud of her. I wish I could shout it from the rooftop, like, go girl.
Right. I wish you could know that. No, it's truly amazing. Like, wow.
And she was so funny, and oh my goodness, just love her
She's
so
the
much.
best.
So today we are joined by the beautiful Briana. We're so lucky she's here. She's an incredible artist, and she has so many accomplishments under her belt. I cannot wait to delve into what she's got going on. Our viewers and I are so lucky to have this one-on-one conversation with her. So, welcome, Brianna, to the Moxie Pod.
Thank you,
And
guys.
let's just get straight into it. You live and breathe art in so many forms. Can you tell us, like, how you got into it?
Yeah, I've been into art my whole life. Like even in elementary school, it was like my favorite class. And like when you had to like write what you would be when you grew up, mine
Oh
was
yeah.
always artist. And yeah, I just always enjoyed it. But like career wise in high school, I didn't have a musical bone in my body, but I went to a lot of concerts and my friends were always in bands, so I just started bringing my camera and taking pictures. And then I also took a film photography class and I fell in love with it and I was like, "Oh, I want to be like the next Rolling Stone photographer." And then, I went to school for photojournalism and then I have ADHD, so I wanted to explore every other art form, and it just led down a rabbit hole, and now I just do all sorts of art.
Can I ask you, maybe it's a little personal, but did you struggle in school with like math and all that, or were you pretty good?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am horrible at math. Like one of my best friends, we like met in like I don't want to say dumb kid math class, but it was like a
Like
very
the
elementary.
The other class.
Yeah, it is not. It was not for the advanced math people. I'll say
mama
that.
bonding.
So yeah, it was never my subject. I always had a lot of trouble with math and like languages, like foreign languages. I always tried. I took Spanish and
hard.
Italian. I really wanted to learn Italian because I'm Italian.
Oh right, you gotta speak your native tongue, but
Yeah, I can't. It's not happening.
no, it's
Yeah.
so hard.
You
I'm in
tell you
Spanish right now. Oh my god.
it's you're in Spanish in college?
Yeah, at college
Wow.
level, and I have to take them at next level too. Oh my
Are
god.
you pretty fluent? Or would you say?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh hell no! I can speak
Hell
so much
no.
sauce. Anyway, Brianna, I know now you do it like as a career. Like what made you wanna like and you have like a whole career history which I for sure wanna talk about, but what made you like really wanna like pursue it seriously?
Um, I think it was kind of out of obligation in a way. Like all the things that I studied in school were always like art based, and like had artistic qualities to them. Like for my master's, I said for my undergrad I did photojournalism, but then for my master's I did um, like a master's of science in interactive media and communications with a concentration in user experience design. And UX
Right.
design is like if you use an app or a computer or whatever, if it's working correctly, if it's accessible for people, if it's like designed how you would anticipate, like if a close button is in where you would expect it to be, stuff like that.
Mm.
So there's like design in there, um, and like all of that. But I think like through my career, I kind of was like obligated in a way, which we can get into. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I ended up like taking all my artistic skills and then being like, I'm just gonna use
I
them.
think that's so cool to like kind of leave the corporate world. Although I feel like UX design is still you're making things accessible, so it's like still meaningful. But like how you have like a disability art blog, I think that's so empowering and just so relatable to help people know that they're not alone.
Thank
Totally. And it's beautiful too. I've
Yeah,
been
her
looking at
art,
all
oh
your
my
stuff
God,
a
you
little
need to
bit.
check it out. It is
you.
literally like it seems like Picasso did it.
Oh, stop. You guys, every time we talk, you make me blush, but like I basically the corporate world made me feel a certain type of way like over and
Mm-hmm.
over again. So the reason I really started pursuing it on my own was like I said out of obligation because it just wasn't the right environment, but also because
Yeah.
they had made me feel so bad that I was
Right.
like, I don't want anyone else to feel this type of way. And I mean, like, life is
Well,
suffering, right? But
Bri-
like, if I can make,
Brianna, do you want to kind of get into that
Yeah,
and
like how
why?
your whole like before, do you want to first talk about your corporate experience, how you like
sure.
advanced, the discrimination that you faced?
Yeah, sure. So, so after I went to like undergraduate school, I freelanced as a photographer, and then I was only like I went to school when I was like 17. I was like young for my class.
Okay,
So,
smart.
no, it was just where my birthday was cut off.
Right.
But I was an October baby. But so like when I came home, I wasn't really like mature enough to have like my own business. Like I didn't like not having a consistent paycheck and all of that stuff. So I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'll get a paid job. Like I was doing weddings and, like paid gigs and stuff. I was working for the newspaper.
That's so
Um,
cool.
yeah, it was really fun, but it just wasn't consistent, and I had a lot of student loans, and I was like, I need a consistent
Right.
paycheck.
Yeah, it's not stable enough at that point.
Yeah.
And then I also got bored, and I was like, I feel like there's something else. Sorry, my boyfriend's eating. Sorry, he's eating a bar, and it's okay.
No, no, no,
Um,
you're good.
Can we say hi? Hi,
yeah, he's just
boyfriend!
Hi, Brianna's
he's
boyfriend.
I
waving.
bet you're cute!
Yeah,
He is
yeah,
really
you're
cute.
consider
He's an
yourself
Italian
lucky.
stallion. But anyway, so what was I even saying? I'm so sorry. My
It's
ADHD
okay.
is like at an all-time high right now.
No, you're good.
Okay, so I got bored and I was like, I wanted to like try like other art forms or whatever. And I
Hmm.
also like, I just felt like something was missing. So I looked up like master's programs because I loved school. I didn't,
Really?
yeah, I love learning. Like, I would be in
Okay.
school now if I could afford it. Like, I would
Oh
just,
yeah, get like your PhD or another
yeah,
master's.
just for no reason. Yeah, another master's or a PhD or something.
Even
But
another undergrad degree if you want it.
no, not the undergrad is the worst though because then you have to take the math class. Like
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, all the
the master's is
prereqs.
really
Ooh,
fun. Yeah, the
yeah.
Yeah,
master's
and
is
I
incredibly
think
fun.
you found your niche as well. A lot of people don't find that so early in life, you know? So it's
Yeah.
really nice that you found that you were able to master a couple things. Then you
Yeah.
realize, hey, I can go further with that. And
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
that's
so cool. Yeah,
great.
it's been a lifelong passion.
I don't know. I think it was just built in me. I don't know. My grandfather when I was younger and he was like passing away, he said find your gift and share it with the world. And at the
Wow.
time I was 16 and at that point I was like, "Oh, that's my photography. Like I'm going to like be a documentary photographer and show people what it's like to, have disabilities or be part of a minority group and not have access to whatever it is." And then like that kind of evolved over the years and right now like I'm like maybe my gift is my disability and I can share that
Right.
perspective with other people rather than like a skill set. Maybe it's just my experience is the gift. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
more relatable to people. I truly love that. Do you want to talk about your disability art blog and what else you do?
Sure. So, yeah, like I said, like when the corporate stuff kind of like, I was just like, I gotta, in the corporate world, I also try not to talk about my disabilities because every time I did, it wasn't good. Even if I was like asking for like a minor accommodation, it just kept
Was
coming up.
it like a faux pas? Almost like oh, no one wants to hear that,
That's
just
so
hush
sweet.
hush kind of.
Kind of. It was more of like, you look able-bodied, so do you? Like, I literally had an HR person be like, "Well, you don't look like you have disabilities." After I came
Well,
to them with like
Yes.
multiple, like
Yeah.
doctor's notes, like,
like
yeah,
here's
she
the
has.
documentation. Like
Yes.
I clearly have it. Just because you can't
Mm-hmm.
see it doesn't mean it's
Right.
not there. Ah,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so wasn't very fun, but I just channeled those feelings and I was like, all right, let me explore how I can help other people feel seen because I know, like, when you face discrimination that you're not the only one, but at the same
right.
time, it
No.
feels so isolating, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't have, like, a lot of disabled friends. Like, I hadn't met, like, anyone
Yeah.
else with CP really, and
Hmm.
so I just felt, like, really alone, and I was like,
It's
I
so
know I'm not
isolating.
the only one. So let me try to create art that would speak to other
Mm.
people and kind of like find my people through that and like,
Yeah.
provide resources because I also have like a lot of other disabilities. So I was like, if I
Hmm.
could share all the stuff that was hard for me and make someone else's life like a little bit easier,
Hmm.
then that would give my suffering purpose. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that
Mm-hmm.
Like
is
it would make it worth it.
purpose.
Yeah.
I
What?
love that. How do you manage like all your disabilities? Because I know you have like quite a few different ones. Like,
It's
what keeps
hard.
you going?
Spite. No.
Proving
Uh,
yourself.
no, I what keeps me going? That's a good question. Do you want the honest answer to that?
Yeah, no, of
Absolutely.
course. No, I
Okay.
want the lie.
Okay. So the honest answer is everyone dies anyway.
Very
And
true.
so I'm like,
Death
might
and
as well see
taxes.
how this turns out. Like, might as well
Mm-hmm.
see if it, hopefully it gets better, or like, hopefully, there's, I hang on to like the good moments, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that helps me.
Yeah, that
But
keeps you
we're all
going.
gonna die anyway, so something's gonna take me out.
Right,
So,
so you might as well, what you have, you can't change, so live up the most until you die. I definitely
exactly.
agree with that. Do you want to speak, like, I know you faced discrimination, like, within your career, like how you went to HR, but I mean, you became a social media manager, so, like, for people with CP, it's kind of dejecting, like, you feel like you're always at, like, a lower level, so, like, how did you, like, advance in your career and not cave into the discrimination?
Um, well, I don't see. This is a hard question to answer because, like,
It is. Yeah.
it's like I can't like say where I was at, but like
Mm-hmm.
one place like I found out like I needed a standing desk because I have a lot of like back issues, so I wanted something where I could sit or stand. It would help me like when I was
Okay,
having like a lot
I didn't
of.
even know that existed.
Oh yeah, you haven't had like
So
like
it can
you.
move up and down based on whether you're sitting or standing?
Yeah, like you can manually
Damn.
like move it up and down. So I had one at home and I was like, "Oh, I need this in the office." And, I came up with my paperwork and my male coworker had broke his arm and he asked
Oh.
for one without like documentation and they gave him one. And meanwhile, I had requested
Ah.
mine first with documentation. He got his first. Then I found out like he was getting paid like $20,000 more than me for the same job and I had
Oh
my
my god,
master's
it's the
and he
disability and
didn't.
the fact that you're a woman. Oh my
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
god.
So I started looking for jobs elsewhere. I had a dream of working for a certain place. It didn't turn out how I hoped, but
Oh.
Oh.
I got a job there, and I just did what I could, and then I had to go. But
Right.
yeah, it wasn't fun. It's never fun being discriminated against,
It's
at
not. It's
work,
so
especially like
sad.
when you're not asking for like a lot of accommodations and
No,
like
it's
you've had other
reasonable.
people, yeah, like that like other people have verified like there's your work is good. It's not, you know what I mean? It has nothing to
Mm-hmm.
do with that. It's more, I don't know. So
Totally. I kind of went through the same thing. I had a job at a mortgage company,
Mhm.
and all I wanted was a mouse, but it was more like a joystick mouse
hmm
for like more
Oh.
control over the mouse, and I never
Okay.
got it. And
Ah.
I was working like 14 hours a day, and it was just so exhausting, and it was just I don't know how the able-bodied people did it, frankly.
Like sitting
yeah,
So,
your desk hunched over.
yeah,
yeah,
so I
It's
get
just
it.
crazy how they don't let you get these accommodations because it's not changing the nature of the job at all. You're
right.
still doing the same duty. It's just making it easier, and then you'll be more efficient at it.
You're
So
right. I do a better job and get more stuff
right.
done.
Yeah.
Like that
Totally.
benefits the
Convenience to them.
organization too. Fuck
Yeah.
HR in the nicest way
Mhm.
possible.
And
Yeah.
then,
It's just
um,
like it's crazy that they see it as an inconvenience because had you gotten that accommodation, you could have been more productive and like you
Yeah.
know what I mean. Like it ends up paying off. So
Right.
that's like
Right. The
also
return
like
on investment.
right, exactly. So like that's this type of stuff that I want to talk about on my blog too. Like
You
why
should.
people should hire disabled people. Like I think disabled people are some of the most creative people out there because we
We
have to
are.
be because
Right.
we are in a world that doesn't accommodate us, so we have to be creative
Yeah.
thinkers.
Mhm.
And I think there's like that's a true asset, you know?
I
And we
feel.
work so hard. We
I
work
literally. You guys
so
want to
hard to just do what an able-bodied person
10
can
times
do in
harder.
half the time. So,
Mm-hmm.
we have that persistence,
Yeah, I feel like
of course.
perseverance and adapt. Oh my god, I can't ever say that word. Adapt. Oh my god, you guys know what I'm saying. I feel like
Adaptation?
so.
What
Yeah,
do you?
Oh my god, adaptility. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing.
Until
A
then.
D A P. Yeah, basically adaptation, but in another form. I feel like yeah, because how you're saying like we have to get really creative with finding ways to navigate this world,
Oh,
and like there.
adaptable? Like
Yeah,
we
adaptable.
need to be
Yeah, but like
adaptable?
the one with the IT one. This is so
Oh,
bad. I
okay.
can never say that word. But yo, I just yeah, I definitely agree with both of you. I think combine those are something that able-bodied people not necessarily that they lack, but it's like it's just not innate in them. Like we have to do that on a daily basis just to get around.
Mm. Yeah, we have to learn how to be resilient at a young age, I think.
Yeah.
Um, Brianna, do you want to get into like what you're going through right now with your, I forget what
Oh,
PMD.
PMDD. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So PMDD, I like to describe it as like PMS on steroids, but it's actually like way more than that. So like
Mhm.
something that bothers me about women's health is like when you hear like PMDD or something, like you think of it as like a menstrual issue or just like one area of the body, but it's a systemic
Yeah.
thing. Like
Uh,
it has physical side effects where like I have super bad bloating,
oh.
breast enlargement,
Oh
like
my
lots
god.
of cramps. But then my mood, it's how PMDD works is basically like you have multiple phases of your cycle, but as soon as you ovulate, which is like the middle of your cycle,
Yeah.
your hormones start changing, and
Uh-oh.
basically I go from like a normal person to like the deep depths of depression,
Oh
like
my god.
overnight. It's crazy. Like I will know because I'll have a
Wow.
good day, and then the next day I'll wake up and I'll be like crying, and I'm like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I ovulated." Okay.
And then that's how you know. The fact that you're on here while you're going through this, like, can we take a minute to commemorate that? Oh my
I mean,
god.
everyone has to go through it, you know. I mean, like people. I
Yeah.
mean, like I'm sure you guys know to some extent, even with PMS, you know.
Yeah, you
But
can't
like,
stop
Totally.
living.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's just crazy because like it's like my thought patterns are so different. Like they're so negative. Like I
I
know.
was gonna ask you about that. So,
Yeah.
normal depression, we all get depressed, okay? I don't know whoever you are, we all get depressed. But when you say your entire thought changes, can you take us kind of into that, like an example even? Because I
Yeah.
would love to know.
It's like it's dark. I mean, like
Yeah.
I it makes it worse because I'll think about all the things that I'm grateful for, and I'll be
Oh,
like, I
Mm-hmm.
that's
have
the
this, I
worst.
have this going for me, I have all these things going for me, and I'll still be like, I just don't want to exist. And
Yeah.
I'll like be crying in the shower, and I'm like, I know like this is gonna go away as soon as I get my period. I know I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
feel like a normal person, but it also like while you're in it, it feels like it's never gonna end. Like it feels
Yeah.
like this is your life from now on. You're just gonna be this depressed.
Yeah, you can't
And
think logically.
yeah, exactly. It's completely like illogical thinking. Like I know it's like I'll get angry
Illogical.
over things that like
Hmm.
I'm never angry about, like things that wouldn't normally bother me. I'm just like agitated for no reason. And like Zoloft has helped me a lot with that. I wish I
That's
could
good.
actually go up. So like for PMDD, you can actually take SSRIs like during part of your cycle. You don't necessarily have to take it the whole cycle. I have depression just generally speaking, so it helps throughout my
Okay.
entire cycle. I
Yeah.
just wish I could take more during that part of my cycle,
Because it's,
but
yeah, a little bit more to handle.
Like a higher dose? You
yeah,
mean? Okay.
I wish I could do that. I tried doing that, but I don't know. I don't know if are you guys on any SSRIs or anything like that?
No,
I'm
Okay.
not.
Okay,
I
so
just get scared too.
yeah, no, I don't blame you, but what ends up happening for me is it actually increases my spasticity. So
Ah,
my mood gets better and I'm in so much pain that then I start crying because I'm in so much pain that I can't function, like literally can't like
oh my
move
god.
correctly and stuff. So I'm at this like
Chain
in
reaction.
between of like, okay, my mental health isn't as like bad as it used to be, but like it still could be better, but like and then I'd be in pain, which brings me back down here. So it's like a
I
balancing
hate
act.
that.
I know. Me too. Me
It's
too.
like you neither way is great, whether you use
No.
it or not.
So,
I Can I ask one question
yeah.
in association to the depression? Like, do you ever have like physical depression, feeling like a tight chest,
Yeah.
heaviness on your shoulders? Because
Okay.
when I get my period, now you have it way worse than that, but I do tend to get like physical depression, I'll call it,
Mhm.
and I can imagine that could be worse for you as well.
Definitely. I mean like I feel it in my chest, but like also like I said it's kind of like a full body thing.
Right.
Before I get my period, like my spasticity for my CP gets so much worse. Like
Oh
I'll
my
like
god.
I don't normally use like no mobility aids or anything, but like I have like a brace for my hand and like when I'm hormonal, the
Wow.
hormones, the way they act up or whatever, like I'll be in like a fist, so I'll have to like wear
Have
my
you thought about taking pen? Because to me that helps to an extent.
yeah, I take diazepam. I've never tried baclofen because I also have epilepsy, and I know Sonia, you have
I have, yeah, I
epilepsy.
definitely wanted to talk to you about that. And I do take lamotrigine for my epilepsy, and the baclofen by no means clashes. Do you take lamotrigine?
I do. I have to take brand name Lamictal though, which is really expensive and a pain in the
Oh my god,
ass.
I used to be on Lamictal, but my neurologist cut it. I don't, slowly he's trying to cut it. I don't think I'm ever gonna get off medication for my seizures. But
Yeah.
oh my god, do you take the liquid or the?
No, the pill. I have like a huge pill box that's like this big. It's like legit like for a normal person's month, but it's just like my weekly. It's
No,
fine.
Oh my
God.
god, wait, what's your dosage?
I take 400. What do you take?
Okay, I take 150.
Okay. What kind of seizures do you have then?
I can't remember. I haven't had one in a long time, but I'm not someone who like shakes like crazy. I kind of just
Mhm.
like I'm totally out of it. I get a lot of ringing in my ears. I feel like
Mhm.
almost like I'm dissociating. It's like I feel like I'm gonna
Like
pass out.
acid?
I get like this coolness. I don't really know what type it is, but
Mm.
that's kind of I get feel like I don't. It's so hard to describe. What about you?
I have like tonic-clonic like grand mal seizures
Oh
like
no.
my first one I've had two seizures in the shower. My first
Oh
one
my god, I felt
ended.
one coming, so I had to hop out of the shower. I
It,
can tell when it's coming now.
so how long is your aura? Like your aura is like that feeling that you're like I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have
yeah. I
some.
would say it's not long at all. I mean, I don't, would you say like 20, 30 minutes is long? I don't even know if it's that long, to be honest.
For me, mine's a couple seconds. Like I'm like oh
Ah!
shit,
Okay,
yeah,
no,
like
so then mine's
bad.
pretty long. Okay, so then you don't have time to like sit yourself down properly. It's like,
I tried. I tried.
shit.
The last one that I had in the shower, I felt it coming. I was like, holy shit. And I just had enough time to just turn the water off
No.
before I like
Did you
fell.
get
And
to hop out of the shower and get to like a safer setting?
no, no.
Oh my God,
It's
what
always
happened?
in the shower.
Mm.
Ah!
Yeah, it's,
Were you
yeah.
all alone?
Yeah, all on the house. It's
Did you like
terrible.
hit your head?
No, I was lucky not to, but the
Okay, because that happened to
thing,
me once.
oh my
I
God,
was
would you
younger, so
have
I
done?
didn't know at that time.
Oh, jeez. That's so, that's my biggest fear is like you could kill yourself, like hitting your head on something, but
Yeah.
the weird thing to me was like usually for grand mal seizures, like people completely black out, but because I am on the medication, I don't know if the like where I had the stroke from the CP affects anything, but like I can see things, I just can't move it. And I saw like my arm going like this on the side of the shower, but I
Oh,
had
that's
like,
so
and
scary.
it kept hitting the thing, and I was like, oh my God, my arm is gonna be so marked up. And there was also a
Right.
nail
There's nothing
because
to
I
do.
lived at my grandma's at the time, and it had
Oh,
like she had like a handle like to get in and out of
oh.
the shower, but there was a nail
Okay.
in it. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna
Not
be
the
bloody.
nail.
It freaked me.
Jeez.
Oh,
It was
it's
not
like you
good.
just see it happening and there's nothing you can do about it. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you got your first one at 13, which I feel like is really rare. Like how I heard you say when you were talking about it. And so, like, how was that since you thought you didn't really have seizures, I guess, until you were 13? How did you navigate that? Because I've had it since I was, like, born, pretty much. Like,
Yeah. So you always had seizures even since you were like a little baby?
little, yeah, they were worse when I was little. Oh my God, I'd be in the ER overnight, and then gradually as I got older, they were better. And the last one I had was almost 3 years ago, 3 years in June. But
I'm glad it's been a
and that was
while.
just because my fault. Well, not really. I was just kind of like I was traveling a lot with different time zones, so I think that fucked with like the medication. I tried being accurate with it, so that's probably why, and overstimulation. But now,
Yeah.
so far, fingers crossed, I take it around the same time every night, so I've been good.
That's
So
good.
sorry, that was a whole like
No,
blah,
it's
blah,
so
blah.
interesting to me because I don't I like who do you mean who has like CP and epilepsy? There's not like I mean obviously people are out there, but we don't have a lot of opportunities to talk to other people, so it's
No,
really
because
cool to
I
hear your
actually don't know anyone else with epilepsy, and that too with CP. So I think it's really cool, like hearing your experiences as well.
Yeah. So it was weird because we didn't like really correlate it right away, but I
Oh, you didn't know what
started
it
having
was?
my what?
You didn't know what it was when it first happened to you?
Well, we knew what it was, but like we didn't know
Okay.
what caused it because they say like
Yeah.
if like you're likely to have epilepsy if you have CP, but it
Mm-hmm.
usually starts in childhood. So
Yeah.
because I was like already I think like 12 years old or whatever, they were like, "Oh, she's in the clear, she's good."
Mm-hmm.
But I got my period, so my hormones really
Oh,
fuck with me on every level.
yeah.
And so it kept happening the second day of my period each time. So like
Consistently? So every month you knew you would get expect a seizure?
yep. So, like, we
Oh,
didn't correlate it at first. We were just
right.
like, but like we started tracking them.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish that we had tracked my mood back then too,
That would have
because,
been smart.
but it's clear now to me. I'm like, oh my God,
Wow.
my hormones were literally like making me have seizures, making me so depressed, like doing like
Wow.
freaking havoc on my entire body.
I,
And
God, they just would not cooperate.
I,
oh,
I think hearing all this, it's kind of funny because it sounds like CP, women and hormones, they're kind of interconnected in a
That,
way that I didn't think they were before, you know? And
yeah.
yeah.
I used to think because of my period, I got this terrible acne. And
Mm,
then as I got to an adult, though, it kept getting worse.
Oh,
So
you should go out
I,
of it.
I was convinced the stress of CP and the anxiety gave me more acne. And they
yeah.
all told me, no, that's not, that can't be. But I swear
I
that's what it was.
Yeah, no, I bet you're right because like it's
Mm-hmm.
so annoying too when doctors like dismiss like we know our bodies so well
Totally,
and we can
Yeah,
yes.
better
correlate
than they
things
do.
so much better like just because there's not a study on it like you know yourself well enough to be like no
Um,
like my stress level is insane like I
yeah.
know how my body's
Right.
reacting there's a clear
Mhm.
correlation whether your studies show it yet or not
Yeah.
Well,
like
yeah,
it
because
doesn't
I
mean
feel
that
like
it's not
there's a
happening.
limit to studies because every CP case is different. So I feel like studies are very general, and I feel like not that much attention is really given to CP, so it's still kind of
Mm-hmm.
nuanced in the sense that there's not enough research. And it's like, okay, doctors have all these years of medical school and residency, but like they're not the ones living the experience. You can learn
Right.
about it, but you'll never understand it the same
Right.
as someone who's going through it, even if
Mm-hmm.
they don't know all the knowledge of medical terms.
Yeah. Sonia, do you get like more spasms like Sarah and I are talking about like before your period or anything?
I would think so. I Yeah, I do. I wouldn't say it's really significant. but I definitely do. I get horrible cramps. I'm not comparing to yours though. Oh my god, like because I know
No,
you also
don't.
have endometriosis though, but I do sometimes do throw up because of it. So yeah, it's
That's
definitely more
not
prevalent.
good. Have you seen your doctor about that? That's severe. That's it
No, I did, and then they said to just get on birth control. I got on it for birth, but I feel like that fucked up me with me more. I already like deal with mental health crap, and that like I felt like oh my god, like I
yeah.
just felt like it was so bad.
Yeah. Well, I will say this because this is like relevant for anyone. If you're still having pain and you feel like dismissed and they're just like, just try birth control, go to a different doctor. I had to go to 10 different doctors until I got diagnosed with endometriosis. And I
Oh
had
my
stage 4,
god,
which is the most severe
I've
stage. I had
heard
it in my
too.
family and they still like ignored it. So, like,
Ah,
don't
they should
say
even
that.
know then.
Yeah. So
What?
don't do that. Like,
Why
don't
would
say it.
they ignore it though?
Yeah,
Did
especially
they?
because of a history.
Because they want you on medication or it's like
Yeah.
They just want
inconvenient
to
or
dismiss
like
it, whichever easier makes them money. It's terrible.
I yeah, I was 18. I was
Oh my
18
god.
and the doctor was like, "Well, you should just get pregnant." I was like, "I'm disabled.
Ooh.
I live at home. Like, are you
That's
insane?" It was crazy.
Were you in a relationship at
No,
that
no. I had never even kissed a boy, okay? Like
You
I was
oh
like
my
we
god,
were
bro! You never had any experience. He's like, bro, just go find the next man on the street and then
Yeah,
have him
go
come
hook
back
up
here.
yeah.
with Jack.
I'm like, yeah, that's a real solution. Thanks, guy.
Thanks. Just have babies. They solve everything. Oh wait, you had never been kissed at that point?
No, I was such a
I'm
late bloomer.
shocked
That's
that
a
you
problem.
didn't. Wait, when was your first kiss?
Oh, I was like a freshman in college, or I think
Dude,
so. Or like freshman or like sophomore. I think I might have had a kiss Wait, yeah, I don't know.
clearly
Things
it
ran
wasn't
up
memorable.
like college, but yeah.
It's okay. I'm not even there yet. I'm almost 21, so like
It's
there's
okay.
that.
Don't rush. Whenever you're ready, it's not a
Yeah,
big deal. It's not a big
completely agree. Um, I'm gonna throw this out there. I used to smoke weed, okay? I know this. I had less control over my body when I
deal.
smoked it. And I
Mm,
learned that some people with CP have tight muscle tone
Oh, I can
and
tell.
loose muscle tone.
mm-hmm.
So I think because of my loose muscle tone or weak muscle tone, whatever you want to call it, it made it even weaker. So
Really?
I felt like I was bumbling. Like being high is great, okay? It's fun, it is. It relaxes you, you
There you go.
kind
Get
of
you out of all that turmoil.
right.
Yeah.
It gets you out of that mindset. But then I felt like, God damn, I can't do nothing. So
Right. It's
Mm-hmm.
like
I
it's
Yeah.
not
want.
worth feeling that good.
Right. So I
Right.
wanted to know if either of you had tried it or if you had different experiences or whatnot.
Sonia, you're first. I
Okay,
see
me
you make
first.
your
I've
face.
never tried smoking it, but I did do an edible once in my. It was last year. Me and my roommate, we had like a gummy. And I just, to me, it wasn't really a vibe. Like I felt like
Hmm.
I just. People say it feels good. I just felt like I had no control. And like I get you
Mm-hmm.
want to loosen up and like it makes you feel better. That's why I turned to alcohol. I feel like I don't lose as much control doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't know. For me, it wasn't the most pleasant experience, and I know she doesn't have CP, and she said she would start hallucinating. So that's kind of turned me away from it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I smoke a lot of weed. I smoke a
It
lot of weed.
helps.
So I'll say it helps my mental health a lot.
I've heard that.
I
Yeah.
do it at night mostly. Like I don't really do it during the day unless it's
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
really
Like if you
rough
want to go
day.
out and about high.
Yeah, but sometimes it's interesting, Sarah, that you said that like it made your like loose muscles like looser because sometimes I feel like it exacerbates my spasticity and will make me more tight, but that also
Okay.
depends on like the strain and everything. So sometimes it'll help my pain and sometimes it'll increase
I
spasticity.
low-key think that's how my mind feel too when I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
go.
kind of a game.
Yeah, I go to Reddit a lot, and there's always this great debate on Reddit for the
If it's
CP folks.
helpful or not.
Does it help? Does it not? So it's just interesting to
Depends, I
see
guess.
different perspectives. I think
Yeah,
it's so interesting too to see if it
definitely.
helps. see if it doesn't, you know, different, you can get like CBD and
Mhm.
still
yeah.
get
That
good
helps a lot.
effects.
It's just hard in my state though, because marijuana is banned here.
Yeah, that's hard. I was lucky we had like medical. Actually, quick side note, we had
Go
medical
ahead.
marijuana in Connecticut for like I don't know, the last 7 years or something.
Oh wow,
Um,
pretty recent.
but as soon as it went legal, the quality went down. So
Uh-huh.
it
Yeah.
actually it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy because they started marketing it towards like recreational users versus
Yeah, I
like
see that a lot.
I used to go into the dispensary and I'd be like, I need something for pain. I need something to sleep because I have terrible sleep issues, and that was really helpful. And now, like, it's just so hard to get stuff that's like specifically like helpful, like in the way that it
Right.
used to be, which is aggravating.
Yeah,
But
That's so
I
encouraging. Because I guess it's becoming too normalized that they become scared of it and they're
yeah.
kind of want to wean off of that. Although I know there is. Wait, is it different than taking an edible when you smoke it? Like, I don't really. Cause
Your body like metabolizes it different, but it
Right.
just depends on like the dosage. Sometimes I feel like edibles are like more of a body effect, but there's also different like it's not just like THC and CBD. Like there's like creams and like edibles too that have like CBG, which is good for like muscle relaxation and stuff. So I'll take those. So I do find like you just have to be like very like careful about what you're picking, especially like if you want it for medicinal purposes like I do, you know.
Exactly. I
Right.
have a great
No shame in that.
story about that. Okay, I went to a dispensary out of state. I got a bunch of stuff, and I got a couple gummies. And
Right.
I didn't realize this one package was 200 milligrams.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, did you eat the
So
whole thing?
They didn't
I
say.
took it. I took it.
Oh my
Terrible.
god, how is
I
that?
remember I was watching Friends on the floor in the ball, like.
Oh my god, you must have just been another realm.
Funny. Yeah.
I thought I was dying. I thought my
See,
life
that's what
was
scares me.
over.
Were
You're like,
you
this is
alone
how it
during that?
ends.
Huh?
Were you alone?
No. No. Mike was my fiance.
Oh, Mike was there.
He
Okay.
was rest. He was sleeping on the bed, and I'm on the floor because
He's like this crazy girl.
I needed to ground myself because I was like the room was spinning out of
Oh
control.
my God.
Yeah.
Oh hell
And
no.
that's how I learned to never do that
Yeah,
again.
be
Yeah.
very wary.
Yeah,
of
I have
what
to
you're
be careful
consuming.
with edibles too because like if I take too much, it almost feels like how I feel before I have a seizure, which is like
Uh-oh.
my auras are like I call it like a blanket of numbness. So like you know like pins and needles, it's like that without the
Okay.
pins and needles. So it'll start at my toes and it's literally like someone took a blanket and like brought it up and it just
Oh
goes like
God.
this. So like if like weed can make you like feel like you know your body feel like
Yeah.
lighter or whatever or like
Tingly.
kind of
Yeah.
numb, but like that feeling really would trigger like a panic
It's like
attack.
exasperates it a bit too much. It seems.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like I feel
Okay.
too numb to the point where I feel like I'm gonna have a seizure.
Yeah.
I'd have to
Yeah,
talk
that's
myself out of it.
terrible.
But yeah, so that I learned that lesson too, where you
There you
gotta
go. Now you're
pay
smart
attention to
with
your
it.
dosage. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, okay, we talked a lot of medical stuff. Can you tell us your, like, favorite art project or your favorite, like, thing to do part of your freelance?
That's a hard question because I feel like it depends on like how I'm feeling, like which way I
Okay.
want to express myself through, which sounds like corny and like whatever, but it's just like if I'm experiencing something, I just kind of figure out like what's the best way to like get it out of my system because a lot of
That's
times
good.
I feel like the feelings and tell me if you relate to this. With my
Yeah.
CP, I feel like because I can't move my body in the way that I always want it to, I have to get out the feelings or I feel like they'll be trapped inside me because I can't like run it off or like shake it out. Like I feel like
No. Yeah, the people like go to the like do all these fancy stuff. I'm like, what?
yeah. So I feel like it'll like stay in my body and like physically manifest unless I like get it out, and that's how I
Right.
get it out is like through my art. So
That's
like
so good.
I guess one of the pieces that I think right now might be one of my favorites is still like the stairs. So
Hmm.
when
I
I
saw
moved,
that on your Instagram.
I
thanks.
can't wait to buy that, guys. I'm
No,
gonna buy it, and you should
just
buy it
tell me, I'll
too.
send it to you. You don't have to buy it.
No,
I'll
no,
just.
no, no, no.
No, we
I
would need to
support you.
support you.
Yes.
Thank you. But so like I had a really hard time like when we moved into this apartment, there was only one railing on the
Oh
right
my
hand
God,
side and
yeah.
I have right hemiplegia. So
Mhm.
I can't
Oh, we
hold my
forgot to even
body.
mention that. Okay, anyway,
Oh
sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So like I couldn't hold my body weight with that, and even we installed the second railing, and even with both railings, I had fallen down a flight of stairs like twice, but
No.
one time more
Was it because it
recently.
was like steep or like was it hard to see like where the stair was? Because I know I have
Both.
problem if it's not marked.
Both.
Okay.
So it was very steep, and also the color of the wood was like making it all blend together,
Yeah,
type
that's
of
why like when they
thing.
have like a yellow or a black strip, anything to differentiate.
Yeah. So I actually want to do an updated piece to that because I want to help other people.
Mhm.
Because what we ended up doing was taking like colored tape and putting them on each stair, along
That's
with
so good.
like lighting. My boyfriend put up like LED lights going on like up and down the stairs too, so it's
And it's
brighter.
even pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's cute. It's like rainbow like looking and
Nice.
but yeah, so the contrast, the extra light, and then
Mhm.
like both railings like help give me a lot of confidence and stuff. So
Yeah.
I want to help people with that. But I think
No, I
that
love
piece in
that.
particular, like oddly enough, connected with people who didn't even have CP. Like some people had like an ankle
Really?
injury or
People with MS have similar struggles to
They
CP,
do.
so I know I know my sister-in-law has MS, so
Oh my
we
God.
can kind of, say, hey, I'm struggling with this, and it's kind of
Mhm.
like the same in some ways.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think yeah, that but I think taking photos is like one of my favorites too, but I love also painting and just what making a mess. I don't know. It really depends on my mood, you
Hey,
know.
sometimes it's fun to make a mess. That's so good that you have so many different like releases to turn to. I love that.
I think everyone with any discipline, well, I think everyone should be creative, period. Like, I think it's just a
Hmm.
great outlet. But even if you like don't consider yourself an artist, I think you should just like get out a pen and paper and like make a mess or like, you
Right,
know what
like
I
even
mean?
if it's
Like,
doodling or something.
yeah,
It's
because
so
it's still
freeing.
like, and art is so subjective, you know? Like, what I think is nice, someone might think is shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
It's like, it's so subjective and it's just a nice release. And yeah.
No, I love it.
But,
What did Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, so in high school, I was really depressed. I didn't
Mm.
have friends and all that
Oh,
stuff.
that's
And I
true.
noticed when I was sad and I would write, like I would write poetry and all that
Mhm.
stuff, it would be so good. And like my mom would find it and she'd be like,
Ah!
Sarah, this is so good. You
Oh,
should
that's
write
so
more.
nice.
And I'm like, no. So I definitely
That's
agree
so
with you
special.
trying to put that somewhere feasible. Put
Mhm.
Yeah.
that desire you have in your heart and turning it elsewhere. So
Yeah.
I totally connect with
That's
that,
so
and I think
beautiful.
it's
Do you still have
beautiful.
those poems?
No, I
Oh, you should
burned
have
them.
kept them. You could share them
Yeah, you
here.
definitely should.
No,
Do you
uh,
still have any depression, or was that pretty much like circumstantial because of high school and all that? And
oh
like,
no, I think every month, like my period, it brings it.
And you're
Like
still
yeah.
every
doing that.
single month, you feel like the world's ending for a
How
couple
long do you?
days.
For a
I
couple
think,
days?
yeah, a couple days. And, my mom has it too, so,
Oh, yeah.
That
That's
could be
she,
PMDD then. That could be that if it's like very significant. Like, does your full thought pattern like change and stuff?
I don't know. I'm a master hider.
Yeah.
Master.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of
So,
shove it under the rug.
I shove it so deep
Right, in the
that
closet. Goodbye, lock it.
I can't even see it, right? I shove it that deep.
Bro, that's my
So,
coping mechanism.
so I don't know if it's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't know. Like, I don't know myself to this day. I'm still learning.
You should
Just like
reflect.
all of us. I should
I feel
Yeah.
like
what?
the next time you're in that situation, you should really know. That way, if it is that, you get like a better awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But just
I
Sorry.
think I found awareness through cycle tracking actually, and if I hadn't
okay.
started doing that, I don't think I would have realized like
Oh,
what was
that's so
going on.
smart.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, but since I talked to you, like we talked last week, we kind of, oh my god, I should really track that stuff because, like, every week is something different,
Yeah.
whether it be bloating or acne or
Hmm.
feelings of despair, whatever. It's in every month I get this, and I'm just like throwing it to the wayside. So,
Yeah.
Right. Instead of
yeah,
confronting it, I feel like it's so much easier to run away than actually face it head on.
yeah,
What I used to do that
totally.
helped me, it's I don't know if it's directly like releasing it, is I didn't feel comfortable telling anyone like my shit. So I would just create little like vlogs to myself like venting, and for me like that would help. And if I was confident enough later, I would go back and I would watch it and be like, "Oh yeah, you were so right for that," or "Girls, stop being over dramatic."
Yeah.
And it's
That's
really
that.
helpful because you give yourself and you see come back and you see it from like a third person and you like imagine that it's not yourself because it's so much easier to give someone else's advice than take your own
100%.
advice. Like I'm like I need to do half the things I tell other people.
Yeah,
Amen.
exactly. That's a
Amen.
great
Yes.
way. I do that all the time. Like still, like I'll be like, if I can't talk to my therapist, I'll talk to myself,
Sometimes yeah,
and then
that's
you realize
easier.
like then you see those thought patterns that you're like, oh my
Yeah.
God. Like like when you're after your period and you're feeling better, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe like that's how intense that feeling was. Because a lot of times I can't even describe the
In the
intensity of it.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, until like, like when I'm not feeling that, I'm like, how could it feel that,
Yeah, it
strong?
really captures that moment because when you're in the moment, you're just so consumed, I feel. And then
Hmm.
afterwards, it just, yeah, it's kind of healing to do in a way.
Yeah, for sure. You're like another way of getting it out, you know?
Yeah, I definitely, yeah, or I'll journal, but that sometimes it's too slow. So I do need to like talk it out.
That's what happens to me too. I've tried journaling and I'm like my thoughts, my hand cannot keep up
Keep
with my thoughts.
up. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my
it's
Mm-mm.
too
God, my
quick.
thoughts are 10 miles ahead. I have 50,000 thoughts running through my head. How do I get all of that on paper?
100%. Totally relate to that.
Andy.
100%.
No, I get that. And then one other thing, like I really loved how you said, is like how before you felt like you had to hide yourself to make others comfortable, and I feel like that is so true to me. I mean, I've worked past it too, but like, how did you get out of doing that? How did you move past feeling like you had to do that?
I think I just had to realize that it wasn't serving me. Like doing that, holding back who I was not, I wasn't benefiting from it. I was just getting hurt
Right.
more. So I was like, well, let me just be me and see how this goes. And, now we're having a
Yeah.
conversation because like I'm started to talk about like my CP. Like I met
As
you
you
two
should.
wonderful ladies and like it's connected me with other people. So I see the value in that and it's like I think I had to learn the lesson for myself. Be like, well, this way of hiding it is not working. So
Right.
how can I switch things up? And I was like, I just have to be like who I am. And if people don't like it, that's unfortunate.
That's
But
on
this
them,
is what I
yeah.
am.
You're not doing justice to yourself by being someone you're not. That's exhausting too, having to
Yes.
exert
Yeah.
this character facade.
100%. And it's hard to like mask, like you guys know, like it's hard to like
Hmm.
hide your disabilities, especially when you're having a flare up or Sarah, like your
Yeah.
neck hurts or you're having a spasm or like it's hard to like hide that from people. And like,
Right.
when I was in the physical like corporate world too, like when I was having cramps, like I didn't want to bring like a heating pad and like,
Yeah.
I was having a muscle spasm and I like had my hand splint on and they were like, "Oh, what
Oh
happened
my
to your
God.
hand?" And it's like you don't always want to explain. You know
Blame
what I
it.
mean? Like I think
No.
there's like a lot of value to like teaching people too and
Yeah,
sometimes I'm
there
open
is.
and I'm like, "Well, it's actually CP and blah blah blah," but other times you're
That's
like, "I
so.
don't want to fucking talk about it." You know what I
Sometimes
mean?
it's
So
just so exhausting to know. I get it. Like for me, it's not really as easily to hide when I'm sitting sitting down, I mean, I can. Like, you see me now, you probably wouldn't know. But when I walk, so the second someone sees me stand up, it's very apparent. But then when people will just assume, oh, your leg is sprained because it's mainly my right leg because I have hemiplegia too, so my left leg's fine. Although sometimes it does mimic my right leg, and so then I don't really anymore. But like I would just play along with it because I don't know. I was just so embarrassed and I just wanted to fit in. And like able-bodied people, okay, they sprain their ankle, it's not a permanent walk. And I think it just, yeah, and having to explain it and just, it's like you just don't, but it's so much better too sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say people don't even give me that chance to explain,
Oh
They
my
just
God.
assume, totally. They assume right away. I can see their eyes shift
That's
when
the
they
worst.
start talking or anything. So, in one hand, I think it would be hard to say. But yes, I'd love to explain that to them. But in my case, I feel like it wouldn't even matter because they're looking at things through their own lens and they're not gonna see it another way. So it's a
Yeah.
little different, but yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. I always like wonder too, like there's part of me where it's like I feel like a double-edged sword of like passing as able-bodied because people expect you to act like an able-bodied
Yeah.
person, and then when you need accommodations it's like, but I'm not. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Right, they
it's
look at
really
you like,
difficult.
what?
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it's so I hate when people are that judgmental, like you said, like immediately avert their eyes and they're like, I don't even want to
It's just
be.
so
Oh yeah.
rude. And like
Yeah.
the fact that like you'll try explaining it to them, but it's like they've already have their mind set. And
Right.
to me, like that's just so like arrogant, like that they just won't even hear you out or be willing to like learn or almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard with social media too, because I think you tend to see always the good side of it.
Oh my
Like
God, I could
people
go on
with
about that.
CP who represent themselves online, typically they're they're it's not as apparent as me, maybe. So people want to see that. They don't want to see the harsher side of it. They're okay seeing, the easy side of it. They're happy with that.
Yeah.
So, like, representing the harsher, sorry, the
So
harsher side of things is what because I don't want to fall into that kind of category. I want the rough and ready. I'm not here for the picture perfect. I want it. I want people to see this side because this side is typical. This is what people need to see to
It's
understand the
real.
whole bit.
Yeah, 100%. Do you feel like your families see and understand and accept your disabilities?
Oh yeah, they don't see it, right? Because they know me for so long. They've, you know, but maybe people extend family. I still feel uncomfortable around them sometimes because they have not gotten the chance to really know me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's because of how I'm perceived. If I could take that away, I'm sure it'd be fine, but I wouldn't want to do that, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's interesting how some people it's just like inconvenient for them because they're,
Yeah.
in their safe little space of not having to deal with it. So then having to see someone like truly struggling, it's hard for them, which I
Right.
get, but it's like,
Yeah,
but I'm
because
a
it's
human
different.
being and I need help. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
like
I
I'm
need to
sure
be
they need help in
acknowledged.
other ways too. It's natural. Everyone has their own struggle. How's your family with it?
My some of my family's really good with it. Some of my
good.
family's really good. Yeah.
Okay. The other side, not so much. Aw.
It's yeah, but
That's rough.
it is what it is.
Yeah, not
I
everyone's
try
gonna
to
accept it.
educate people to the best of my ability. I always try to
Good.
share my experience, but I don't think everyone is always open to
That's the
understanding.
problem.
You know, and it's sad, but
It is.
I think that's something I struggle with a lot is like when you want your family to understand more than anyone else. And I have like,
Yeah.
especially through my art, like I have people, like strangers understanding, and then sometimes there's some
Right, and then
people and
your
I'm like,
own kind.
hello,
Hello,
you
the
know what I
ones who
mean?
should
But
want to understand you the most. Oh my god, yeah,
yeah,
that's
but
so rough.
it's I'm exploring all that in my art too. So
Wow.
you know, hopefully we can all collectively teach people more about our experiences and create a
Yeah.
little empathy. But you can't teach empathy, which is annoying to
Right.
me.
No, that's not a technical skill where you can
Yeah,
sit down, have a training. I feel like that's just something that's in you and something that you truly want to do. You can't force someone to have empathy.
right. I feel like people with disabilities are naturally more
For the
empathetic
most part, I would
too.
agree.
Because I feel like struggle sees struggle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whereas if you haven't really had struggle, it's like you said, Sarah, too, like it's easier to just, kind of look the other way. Or,
Avert your eyes. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
exactly. So it's easier to do, which I get, and people get by how they have to, but it's not
Right.
easy for us on the other end.
No, it's hard to develop connections then. But I know I'm for sure that way because like even if like someone struggle or they're like different in a way that's not CP or even physically, I'm like I don't judge. I'm like wait, I feel you. Like we're similar. Like I have a
Mm-hmm.
friend who has autism, completely different than CP. Hers is invisible. It doesn't manifest in a physical form, but it's like I know what it's like to feel like you don't fit in. I know what it's like to get made fun of, and I feel like even though those are two vastly different adversities that we've incurred, it's still like a shared thing is that you know what it's like to be an outsider. So I feel like it means so
Oh,
much. Like I really resonate with underrepresented groups, I
A
feel.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I feel like any minority group, I'm like, we have had such different experiences that you cannot compare them in any way. You
No,
know what I mean?
yeah.
But at the same time, like struggle, see struggle, and I understand that. I understand what it's like to be made fun of for looking different. I understand what it's like, you know what I mean, to be perceived a certain way, and
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely feel that 100%.
Yeah.
is there like one tip you can give to someone with CP who wants to get into art, or maybe a teenager who's really artistically inclined? Just give them some
Yeah, maybe
advice,
starting their own business
encouragement.
too.
Yeah, it's not easy. I would say if you're artistically inclined, absolutely explore that and follow that passion, but just know that it's not the most lucrative. It's
Unfortunately, they
not the
do so
most
much.
stable.
Hmm.
But for me, I care more about making other people happy than I care about money.
Yeah, I love
Granted, I
that.
need to pay my bills, so
That's
that's where it
true.
gets problematic. But like if you're, I guess it's like sometimes you have to make the decision like, do you want to feel like fulfilled or do you want to pay your bills and not worry about that type of
Right,
thing?
be
So I would
comfortable.
just, yeah, I would decide like where your priorities are.
That's so good.
Like I rather take on the extra stress of like finding work versus like working for someone else and have the stress of them not accepting my disability. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's like a trade-off of stress. You have
Okay.
stress in any
Stress
work
in different
environment.
ways.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you have to figure out like what your priorities are in your life and like do you want consistent paychecks? Do you want to make a difference? Because if you wanted to make a difference, you probably have to work for yourself.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like
Like being an accountant,
I,
you're not making a difference.
yeah, but I mean, you can make a difference anywhere, really. But like
That's true.
every interaction, you can make a difference. But yeah, I would just say everyone should follow their passions and be creative and don't let other people make you feel less than because you're disabled
Yeah.
too. Because I think that's what happened a lot in my like career is people trying to make me feel less than and
Oh
don't
my
let them do
God.
that because that's your disability is
A part of
something
you.
that's so unique and makes you you, so you shouldn't like erase
Yeah.
that part of yourself.
No,
Um,
So,
exactly.
and when people do that to you, if you hear it over and over again, you're
mhm.
gonna start to believe it.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
I did
Yeah.
believe it.
yeah.
That's why I was so depressed and
Hmm.
I was like I can't live like this, and then I
Yeah, it's
had to like
exhausting.
relearn like, oh no, this is the environment that I've been in and I have to like explore that and obviously it's working. Like I said, I found you guys, you found me, or whatever.
I'm so like happy about that.
Me too. I'm so glad. But yeah, I would just say like keeping. We're so good at being resilient. We have to be. Keep being resilient.
Yeah, you
Keep
wouldn't get
trying.
anywhere with CP if you're not resilient. It's so easy
Exactly.
sometimes to not be, to pity yourself and just want to sit in your room all day and feel sorry for yourself, but that's not gonna, yeah, you have to get up. Like, obviously, you're gonna
Hmm.
have moments like that, but it can't be
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Also, I found that working around your body is very helpful if you're going to have your own
Okay.
business. So, like for me, I also have a sleeping disorder. So, like
Mm,
with all the stuff that I have, like I used to fit, feel like I had to try to fit into like the typical 9 to 5. My
uh-oh.
body doesn't work like that. I'll have
No.
spasms or cramps or, you know what I mean? Like my sleep is different. I find that when you embrace the way your body is working
Mm.
and work with your body, like if you need to
Yeah.
sleep, sleep, and then you'll get the work done because you'll have the energy because you allowed yourself to rest. So I would say if
Absolutely.
you're going to have your own business and stuff too, like work with your body, don't work against it.
That
No.
is so smart. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
then
even
you're not
think
reaching your
about
full
that.
productivity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
it does.
really
Because you
smart.
feel like I used to be so mean to myself. I'd be like, oh, I'm not being productive. I'm not
Hmm.
doing this. And then I
I
would try to
feel
work
that.
and I would be so tired that I wasn't actually accomplishing anything.
Right.
So yeah, working with your body is very helpful too.
And lastly, can you please plug all your websites?
Sure.
Because
Yeah,
I
send them to
really
us.
want to get that out there.
Yeah, so it's BrianaRaucci.com. That's BrianaRaucci .com. I have my disability art blog on there. I have my shop, which I may have to close, but that's a whole story. I have like a whole
Oh,
bunch
I'm
of stuff,
sorry.
but then I'm also gonna start a GoFundMe because
That's awesome.
that link will be on my website on the disability in our blog soon. Basically, my intention is to create like a salary job out of the disability art blog, especially because of everything that's happening in the world. I think
Yeah, it's so
disabilities
sad.
aren't in the mainstream. It's not as like newsworthy or exciting, you know. So
Right.
I
Right.
want to use all of my skills in journalism and photography and art
There's a
and try to
lot.
communicate these things as a more consistent thing. So if people could contribute anything towards that, I want to give us a voice and use all my
Let me
skills that I
know.
have to do that. So
Absolutely. And
No.
thank you for doing that. I think
Yeah.
putting your heart into something and like not knowing if you'll receive any benefit is
yeah.
totally admirable. So thank
Mm-hmm.
you so much. And
100%.
thank you guys for watching. We are your CP friends. Contact us, email us, and find me on Discord. And I'll be willing to talk to you and happy to talk to you. Alright,
Weird.
Yeah. And you guys
bye.
can reach out to me too. It's Briana Raucci on Instagram. But thank you guys so much for
Please
having
go
me. This
follow
was so
her.
much fun.
Yes.
And
Yes,
I'll
and
come on anytime you guys want. You guys are
Oh
amazing.
my God, we would love to have you again. You're the best.
I could
and
talk to you
I'm
guys for
sure.
hours.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
like,
sure.
I'm a full yap session.
Hmm.
Alright, thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you again. Bye. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.